Hi guys, it's Stephanie. It's Sunday, June 4th. As I always say, when we're moving through the year, time is flying by. Half of the year is practically gone. We might as well say it's over 2023. But it ain't over until the fat lady sings. So, a lot happened these last couple of days here, and a lot of it is negative, but I'm going to go ahead and post this video because I really thought that this time around things were going to be different, but it wasn't meant to be. Before I continue, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. If you guys are visiting my channel for the first time, please subscribe and share if you find something here in my channel that resonates with you. Yeah. So, we'll be right back with more. Everybody has different ways of ending a relationship. So it's not like we sat down and we decided to break it off like two mature adults. It was very brief, and I saw the writing on the wall. After I got home from talking with my friend and also my job, I decided to pay Leslie a little visit. Usually when I knock on the door, she would let me in or whatever. It's not like that today. I knocked on the door. She went to her little lanai, and she was very friendly, and she said hi. I said hi. I said, how's it going? She said good. She said she went to go visit her house being built and the door's not in and yada yada yada. And then I said, well, I only came by to say hi, to see how you're doing. And then she said, oh, okay. Well, take care. And she walked away very disrespectfully. And all these little things that's been happening today and yesterday are indications of, you know, if you were to progress in a relationship, this is the way it would be. She has to wear the pants. She says what goes. It's all about control with her. So the rest is history. And the following is what led up to us having a relationship and the reason why it's over. Enjoy. So this was a sad one. It caught me by surprise, as much surprise as she came into my life. It's just as surprise as she's going out of my life. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about my ex-girlfriend, Leslie. Yeah. So when I first moved into this community, I met Leslie at a brief hello. I didn't think much of it in the beginning. She was a little loud, but that was okay with me. We're all different. And she said hello, and welcome to the neighborhood the first day that me and my friend Mason were moving. Yeah. So a couple of months later, I went to the community clubhouse office, and after that, I'm going back to my car, and here she was standing over my car. I had the top down. She was just complimenting me on my car, how nice it is. And I guess I can say that's where it all began. I offered to take her for a ride, and we had a great time, and I treated her out for lunch, and we kept seeing each other ever since. About a week ago, we decided to be a couple. Girlfriend. We had a great time. I had a lot of respect for her. She was retired. She was 61. As you know, I just turned 58. And I like everything about her. She's got a great sense of humor. She was a fun person. She was down to earth. A little bit show-offy, but you know, I'm not perfect either. And as time went on, I noticed that me being a trans woman is going to be some challenges with her. We dated for the first couple of weeks, and I went home and I thought about this. I said, you know, it's quite possible that this relationship could move forward, could be more progressive, and I think I want to come clean and let her know. The night that I decided to tell her that I was trans, before I told her that night, she was really all over me and tell me how much she likes me, and she thinks that I was the right person for her. Up until that time, when she said that, she saw me as a cisgender woman. She had no idea. So I didn't want to go over a week without, another week without telling her about my past and the changes I went through and why. But that same evening, when she told me that I'm the one for her, she really likes me a lot, we were in bed, we were kissing and making out, and that early that day, I made a video letting her know about me. So when I went back to her house that evening, we were fooling around in bed, and I thought by that time she had seen my video, and I told her it's not bad for having been born a boy. The minute I said that, she froze, and she said, "What?" I said to her, "Didn't you watch my video?" It was a good presentation, and I thought that I was going to be uncomfortable telling her in person. So anyways, we were kissing and making out, and she stopped in her tracks. She said, you were born a boy?" And her demeanor changed really quickly. And we talked about it a little bit, and we embraced it, and she said it's going to be okay, we'll work through it. But I can tell by her face, she was very surprised. She was very surprised that I was born a boy. I had a little lump in my throat, but it didn't last long. I said to myself, what's going to be is going to be. If she's going to accept me, fine. If she doesn't, fine. Maybe we'll just be friends. So that was several weeks ago. Several weeks ago. We only known each other for about maybe 8 weeks, because we met formally as neighbors. So we've known each other for about 2 months. What inspired me to her also was that I came home one evening from work and I saw a letter taped taped to my door. It was from her. She was asking me out to a Tom Jones concert, and I had said yes. We went to Tom Jones concert. We had a great time. Prior to that, I took her out to dinner, and then we went to the concert. The concert was great. We had a great time, and then we were going home. We live in the same community. We live in the same building, the same townhouse building. And when I took her home, we went into her home and we had a nightcap. I was attracted to her immediately, and I felt the connection with her, and so did she. After that, we were an item. We went places and did things, and a bond was forming. I was falling in love with this woman. I really was. So, what happened up until now, I started to see some signs of her struggling in her mind to understand her own sexuality. And she would ask me a lot of questions, and she would make a lot of comments. And I just hung in there with that because it was different from me. All women that I have dated were all cisgender women. I never dated a trans woman. And I don't have no problems with it. If I'm attracted to her, I'm attracted to her. But with Leslie, it was more like she was learning to go with it, with the flow, and we were trying to go as slow as we can, and we're learning about each other, feeling each other along the way, no pun intended. And I was getting used to her. So anyways, we were really having a great time. You know, we went bike riding. We spent a lot of time over each other's homes. And then came a time when I started spending the night over her home. And I was enjoying it, as was she. Even after I told her about my past, we were feeling pretty comfortable. It was a progressive relationship. We were moving forward. I feel I have the same goals as she does. I was looking for someone. Well, I really wasn't looking, okay? Because what happened between me and Leslie was by chance. I didn't know I was going to meet someone when I came to this community to live. But it happened. And I liked her. I was attracted to her. I respected her. So to make a long story short, as this new relationship started to blossom and we're learning about one another, I started to see a lot of good things about her. You know, she's serious about being happy. She's serious about meeting the right person one day to be in a committed relationship. So we had all that in common. I haven't dated in over 4 years. I'm not going to count the last person that I dated about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, because that person didn't know what she wanted. She was aloof, and she used me. That wasn't the case. That was never the case with Leslie. Leslie is a mature woman. She's 61. If she doesn't know what she wants, then Houston, we have a problem. But that wasn't the case. I had tremendous respect for her. I treated her in kind. The reason why we're not together today, as of today and yesterday, is because as we're moving forward progressively in this relationship, she decided to do a background check on me. She had asked me before of what my previous name was. And I think she asked me just so she can do the background check. Okay? I told her that I don't tell people my previous name. Maybe that made her feel suspicious, or maybe paranoid. Maybe. But I wasn't trying to conceal my past life from her by telling her that I don't tell people my previous name, because anybody can know. All they do is Google search it. So yesterday she did a Google search on my name, and she discovered what my name was. And while at work, she texted me a question. She asked me if I have any sexual offenses against me. I found that degrading. I felt almost humiliated. Okay? I almost felt humiliated, because here we are, a relationship is already formed. Is already formed. And she's asking me if I have a sexual offense. I don't even have a record. I was never involved in any domestic dispute or domestic violence with anybody. Nobody has ever hit me, and I have never touched on anyone I've dated. And I've dated a lot of people. If those relationships didn't work out, we simply went our way. Nobody stalked anybody, nobody harassed anybody. Yeah, it wasn't easy giving up on a relationship. But if it's not working out, it's not working out. With Leslie, it's totally different, because it was working out. But deep inside her mind, she thought that she had to dig out some dirt or find out if there's any dirt. She asked me if I had a bankruptcy. Yes, I had a bankruptcy. I once had a business that I took out a loan on against, and I sold all my equipment, and I ended up paying some of that with the money I made from the equipment. But in the last couple of years, I decided to just file bankruptcy and start all over again. I didn't want to dip into my savings anymore or keep working to pay this loan off when the rest of America is filing bankruptcy and getting a fresh start. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? That was my first bankruptcy. I'm fucking human. It was just crazy. And these questions would come to me at such odd times. She would call me up at my part-time job with the healthcare agency I work for, and grill me on the phone. And yesterday, she called me to ask me, do I have a sexual offense on me? This is after we already started dating, and we've already started being intimate with one another. If it was so important for her to know my past, I think it should have came out in the beginning when we met each other, when we decided to date. Not a month later. Not a month later. That left such a bad taste in my mouth, because she raised herself above me, and I felt like I was up against a wall. I'm like, what the hell? I was upset. I was upset. And I had a meeting at a restaurant with some people that's handling my retirement affairs, and I ended up canceling it, and I ended up just Zooming with them because I just wasn't in the mood to go. But anyway, before I was going to meet my friends, or before the Zoom, I went to her house, and I was a little bit lit. I was a little bit angry, but I never raised my voice. I never laid my hands on her. She took her keys back, because up to that point, she gave me her keys so I can get in her home. She took her keys away. That's the other thing. We've already built a relationship. We're learning about each other. We've begun to be intimate with one another. And she's given me her house keys. After all that, you decide to do a background check on me, to judge me, to see what kind of person I am? That's wrong. That's so wrong. And after she found out what my name was, she actually was toying around with it and calling me by my birth name, which was so disrespectful. Which was so disrespectful. Just wasn't right. But yet still, I didn't mistreat her. Okay? When I was at her house, she said things like to me like, I'm not a nice person. I'm not a nice person. I'm a mean person. I told you this. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Okay? It's a shame. It's a shame. The funny thing was, when I woke up the next morning after I saw her, everything in my mind was pretty clear. She didn't respect me by keep calling me by my birth name on the telephone, and I pleaded with her not to do this, because that's not my name anymore. That's not my legal name anymore. That name does not exist. When you go for a legal name change, your name is still on the internet searches. Okay? My name is not an alias. I never use an alias. Okay? It comes up as also known as from the previous people in my life. To them, they've known me as this. Nobody in Florida knows my birth name. In 22 years that I've lived here, nobody has ever called me by that birth name. And if they found out my birth name, they never told me that. Why? Because out of respect. I never had any problems with anybody here in Florida. So why should they disrespect me? They didn't. And this woman who I'm dating is throwing around my face this name, my birth name. It's only a name. That's all it is. Okay? I swept it under the rug after she did it, and I continued a relationship with her up until she asked me if I had any sexual offenses. Here I am in an intimate relationship with her, and this is what she's asking me, and she doesn't see what's wrong with that. I have no problem if it was in the beginning. I would calmly answer those questions because I understand her point of view. But not after you already have had intimacy and you're building a relationship and you've given me the key to your home. It doesn't make any sense. So that's what's happening in my life this week. I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm going to keep marching forward, and one day I'll meet the right person for me. Okay? And if they ask me at get-go, about stuff like this, I'll answer it calmly, but I will also ask them the same thing, because I'm not going to put nobody on a pedestal, okay? And that's how life is. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you think this topic resonates with you, please give me some likes and share. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I'll be talking to you real soon. There's never any dull moment in my life.